representing virtually every industry and type of business that you can think of. And we are here today to announce our endorsement of Mary Beth Murphy for the New York State Senate. This is, as you all know, an extraordinarily difficult time for the small business community. We are dealing with the worst economy that we have seen since the Great Depression, and nearly every business that you talk to tells you that they're struggling. They tell you that they have seen the worst year or 2 years that they've had in the history of that business. But it's not enough that the national economy is bad, because New York's economy is lagging the national economy in so many ways, and in so many ways that have been contributed to by bad decisions that have been made in Albany, particularly over the last 2 years. You look at last year's budget, the largest tax increase in New York State history, more than $8 billion in higher taxes and fees on virtually every business, every family, every household in the state, the biggest tax increase in the state's history, the biggest spending increase in the state's history, more than $10 billion, and a budget that wasn't even balanced. Before the ink was even dry, they were talking about coming back to have to try to trim the budget and put it into balance. One thing after another that Albany has done, that the leadership and the majorities in Albany have done, to impose higher costs on businesses, higher costs on job creators, higher costs on taxpayers in a state that already had the second highest cost doing business in the country, only behind Hawaii, which is a pretty disturbing statistic, the worst business tax climate in America, and a state that, because of all these things, over the last 10 years, lost 2 million people to other states, the largest net out-migration from one state to other states in the country. It's an unsustainable course. And so that's why it is so critical that we have legislators in Albany, that we have a senator in Albany, like the kind of senator that Mary Beth will be, who will consistently stand up and do what is right for the economy, do what is right for job creators, and do what is right for small business, which is responsible for almost all the new job creation in the economy right now. She's got the record to prove that she will do just that. She's a proven leader. She's a leader with results. And we know that she is going to be a state senator who will consistently stand with and fight for small business in Albany. So we are proud to endorse her candidacy. We're going to be working very hard to make sure that she comes to Albany, and we look forward to working with her in the state Senate. So Mary Beth, thank you for supporting our agenda. Good luck on the campaign, and we're proud to support you.
Thank you very much, Mike. And I am very proud to have the National Federation of Independent Businesses support in this campaign. There is nothing more important to this state than getting our small businesses the opportunities that they need and they deserve to get our economy going. That's where it's all going to happen, at the small business level. As Mike mentioned, 10,000 small businesses are represented by his organization. These 10,000 businesses with employees between 20 and 300 employees, make up 25% of the job market in New York State. 25%, that is a huge, huge percentage. And we need to support these businesses. We need government leaders that are going to support initiatives to help them grow their businesses, that are going to support policies that are going to keep them from being taxed out of the state and moving to Virginia or South Carolina or some other state, as close as Pennsylvania and Connecticut, that are more job friendly and are more business friendly. Just in the last couple of years, we've looked at the taxes like soda tax. We've looked at the clothing, just removing the exemption from clothing for small businesses. These are things that small businesses need in order for them to be able to thrive. My plan to try to help small businesses and try to help them develop the jobs that they know that they can develop if they just have the freedom from regulation and the freedom from taxation is a very, very simple and solid one. The first part of it is to create a tax credit for businesses. You create a new job, the state's going to give you a $15,000 tax credit. It's over a 3-year period. It will be paid for right out of the personal income tax that will be collected from that job. That's income tax that would not have otherwise been collected. So it's a zero cost to the state overall, but yet it creates an incentive for small businesses in this environment where they're cautious and they're afraid to hire new employees because they don't know, A, what the tax structure is going to be for them in the next year or two. They don't know what to expect. They're too cautious, and rightfully cautious, to hire new employees because they have no idea what to expect from the government in terms of regulation and taxation, and by virtue of that from the economy. The second thing that we need to do is we need to repeal some of these burdensome taxes. The MTA tax is a prime example. In the Hudson Valley, the MTA tax is sucking $150 million out of our businesses. $150 million a year. And that's a tax that's been implemented in a down economy where we're trying to do, we should be doing everything that we can to help our small businesses grow. So that's the second thing that I think we really need to focus on, and that I will focus on when I get to Albany. And I'll be very proud to work with Mike and his colleagues on these initiatives. The third thing that I would like to see is an incentive from Albany to build businesses and build new industries, build the up-and-coming industries, the high-tech industries like alternative energies, like biotechnology, the technological industries that are really the future of our country. We have here in the Hudson Valley, we have the workforce to do this, we have the cultural and environmental opportunities for businesses, but businesses won't locate here. They won't locate, they won't relocate, and they won't expand their businesses here because the tax structure makes it impossible for them to do so. The first thing a business looks at when they're looking at where they're going to locate or relocate is, can I afford to be there? And if a location gets above that line of where they can afford to be, where they're going to be able to their business will be able to economically thrive, then they start looking at the other factors. Is there a good workforce, a good educated workforce there? Does it have cultural resources? Will my employees be able to have a good life, enjoyment, schools, entertainment, whatever? And we have all of those things, but what we don't have is a tax structure that allows businesses to grow here. That's where the state government can come in. We can create those incentives. We can take that money that's being shipped down to New York City for all of their film industries, and we can take that money and use that to grow high-tech, biotech, and energy, alternative energy types of businesses, so that those businesses can thrive in our region. We can create jobs for our young people. We can keep them living here, and our seniors won't be going through the roof with their taxes because there'll be more taxpayers to share the burden. And that's really what I want to do. I want to go to Albany. I want to work hard on these kinds of initiatives so that we can grow our small businesses in our community here and throughout the state. It can be done. It should be done. We've got leadership like Mike that's helping to get it done, and I am so proud to have the endorsement of the National Federation of Independent Businesses, because these are the people that are going to make New York strong again, and it's my pleasure to be able to help them in the leadership role of doing that.
Thank you.